How strong are Nordic country passports? In today's video, I will be comparing the 5 countries in the Nordic and Scandinavian region of Europe and telling you which one is the best passport in terms of travel strength and also which one has the most benefits. Starting off with the country of Norway, the Norwegian citizenship and the Norwegian passport offers you visa-free access to 176 countries, so it is pretty up there when we talk about a strong European passport. However, Norway is quite unique because Norway is one of 2 countries in this video that are not members of the European Union, but you do not have to worry because if you are a Norwegian citizen or you can get Norwegian citizenship, your country is still in the Schengen area, meaning that if you are a Norwegian citizen, you still have free movement to the entirety of the European Union. This is because while Norway is not a member of the European Union, it is a member of the European Economic Area, and they are also a part of the Schengen area. So if you're worried about, okay, maybe I want citizenship that grants me access to the Schengen area, the Norwegian passport will do that. Moving on now to the Swedish passport. The Swedish passport is a passport of the European Union, and it grants you access to 177 countries with visa-free access, so it is just a little bit better than the Norwegian passport. Now, in terms of your free movement to the Schengen area, there is no difference whatsoever because while Norway is not a member of the European Union and Sweden is, they are both members of the Schengen area, meaning that it doesn't matter which passport you travel around Europe with, it doesn't matter whether you're Norwegian or Swedish, you can still have your free movement to any European country like Portugal, Spain or France. Now, in terms of one of the most important things that I talk about on this channel, which would be dual citizenship and your right to become a dual citizen, does Norway and Sweden allow dual citizenship? Well, the good news is that both countries in the modern day do allow dual citizenship, so you can become a dual Norwegian British citizen or you could become a dual Swedish American citizen. Now moving on to the island country of Iceland, and while Iceland is rare like Norway in the terms that it is not a member of the European Union, it is a member of the European Economic Area and in turn the Schengen area, meaning that if you are an Icelandic citizen, you still have free movement to the entirety of the EU. In terms of visa-free access, Icelandic citizens seem to have visa-free access to 172 countries, so it is a little bit weaker compared to both the Norwegian and the Swedish passport. But if you're just looking for your free movement to Europe, you're going to have that with the Icelandic citizenship. And once again, Iceland also does allow dual nationality, so you can get another citizenship and maintain your Icelandic passport. Or if you're looking to get Icelandic citizenship, let's say you're from Australia, as long as both Australia and Iceland allow dual citizenship, you can maintain both passports. Heading over to the country of Finland. Finland is quite a rare country to talk about in this video, because there is often a debate you see whether Finland is a Nordic country because of their Uralic history and what have you, but I've included Finland in this video because it is quite connected to the region. And as a Finnish citizen, obviously, once again, you are a citizen of the European Union and the Schengen area, so you once again have free movement to the entire region. And as a Finnish passport holder, you have got visa-free access to 177 countries. So you are getting up there again when you compare it to the Icelandic passport. You are in a similar region as the Swedish passport. So in terms of visa-free access, the Finnish and the Swedish passports are at a draw because while they are both members of the EU and the Schengen area, they draw there, but they also draw at the amount of countries you have visa-free access to. And once again, the good news is that Finland does allow dual nationality. So let's say you are seeking to get Finnish citizenship. Perhaps you're a foreigner who's been living in Finland for the amount of time required to naturalise. You can keep your previous citizenship as long as your previous citizenship also allows dual nationality. Let's say you're coming from a country like New Zealand. If you are a New Zealand citizen and you're living in Finland and you're naturalising in Finland, you can maintain New Zealand Finnish nationality. And now the final country to talk about on this video would be the country of Denmark, which technically isn't on the Scandinavian peninsula, it is on the Jutland Peninsula above Germany. Now, as a Danish citizen, you are once again a European Union citizen, meaning you have full free movement to the Schengen area and the non-Schengen area EU countries like Ireland and Cyprus and things like that. But if you're looking at visa-free access, you've got visa-free access to 176 countries, which means that if we compare it to another Nordic passport in this video, your visa-free access is at a perfect draw with Norway. The only thing Denmark really has over Norway, if you're looking at the passport type, is that Denmark is a member of the European Union, although it doesn't really matter because Norway is a member of the Schengen area, so you're not going to see many travel differences depending on which passport you use. You pretty much should be able to get into the same countries the same way. Now, there is one final thing to talk about in this video, and I have done a bit of research into preparing for this video, because what I find with these Scandinavian Nordic countries is that finding out whether they have mandatory military service or conscription is a bit difficult to find. On the numerous government websites that I've been on and checked, and from the map that I've put on screen now, I can tell that the majority of them seem to have some sort of conscription policy in service, which doesn't really surprise me, seeing that Finland used to be, and Sweden still is at the time of recording, technically a neutral country, and finding neutral countries without mandatory military service or some form of conscription is very rare to find, especially in Europe. However, from what I can tell, Finland is the only country that has an active military conscription service, whereas they will call upon a male citizen who is of military age to serve in the army for a year, maybe 6 months, something like that. So it does seem to be that Finland is the only one that has an active military conscription program going on in their country. But the others are also highlighted in the sense that they have some form of conscription policy going on. The only country on this list that has no form of mandatory military service or conscription policy would be Iceland, because Iceland is quite famous for not having a military at all. However, going back to the passport strength and the type of passport it is, the Nordic passports are very strong. They're European Union, and if not, they're Schengen area members. So they are very strong in that regard. You're going to have free movement to the entirety of Europe. So you don't just have to live in the Scandinavian peninsula. You can move to the Iberian Peninsula or anywhere you want that's in the European Union or the Schengen area. Let me know what you think about the Nordic country passports. And if you like this video, you can click right here and subscribe to get this information on YouTube. And if you're watching me from anywhere else, then be sure to follow all my social medias. They'll all be linked down below in the description.